back at the fabulous Cafe Miranda, about to do the things you can't do at home. Now, some of the other things we've done is like, well, at your home, you can do this with this and do that with that. Well, unless one of you guys got this. So let's go into what we're doing here today. A lone pepper, which we'll discuss later. Here we have a red pepper that has been peeled and seeded, some fresh fennel, the stem and the feathers. We cut the stem apart so its cooking times are somewhat equivalent to the tops of this. What we're going to do is roast this on this steel pan, then top it with the cheese and roast the whole thing and then season it. Farmer's cheese. Over here we have some oyster mushrooms. I don't know why they call them oyster mushrooms. They neither look like oysters, nor do they taste like oysters, but they are in fact mushrooms. Maybe that's what they make the famous oyster sauce out of. At any rate, we're going to do the same thing with these. Most of the things we're going to see here are going to be oiled, salt and peppered, which is seasoning in the professional realm, and then roasted and then finished in one way or another, which we'll discuss when we're taking them out of the oven. Okay, what we have here is a vegetable medley. It has peppers, onions, sweet peppers, they are red, some broccoli, which is oiled in advance, and mushrooms. We're going to roast this again with salt and pepper, just as a simple vegetable accompaniment. What we have here is a New York sirloin strip steak. It is a sirloin, as I said. The cut is in New York. There's fats on this side, and it's simply marinated and rubbed with some salt and pepper and garlic and white pepper. Here, we have some tomatoes, very simple tomatoes. These are going to take a ton of salt, a ton of pepper, a ton of olive oil, and we're just going to roast in the oven. They are going to turn into a sweet, nice little accompaniment to a number of these dishes. This is an imported Italian gorgonzola, real creamy. Can't do this dish with the domestic stuff, by and large. Does not have the same creaminess and the ability to melt. We have some roasted cloves of garlic, some poached potatoes, and we're going to roast that thing again in the oven. What we have here is some risen dough. This is an all-purpose dough with a little bit of semolina. There's some cornmeal on the edges of it. And this is going to do, we're going to do a very simple focaccia, which is essentially like a pizza, except you don't put anything on the top of it, except olive oil, garlic, maybe some herbs or very light seasonings. And that is our brick oven focaccia, which we'll do in just a few minutes. So first thing we're going to do is our pepper. We're going to squirt it with some seasoned oil. And this oil, seasoned oil, has rosemary and olive oil. Just let it sit around long enough till it accepts its flavor. We're going to squirt this with the olive oil. And we're going to season it with the salt and pepper. Now this here we have salt and pepper mix. This is so I don't have to move 35 times grabbing salt and pepper, salt and pepper. Here's salt and pepper one time. That's going to be what we're going to use this one for, and we'll just throw this one right in the oven and we'll start working while we're looking at everything else, which is right here. We have the fresh fennel and the roasted pepper. Again, we're going to take the olive oil, give it a liberal dousing. Not a conservative dousing, a liberal dousing. There are differences. We're going to give it a little bit of salt and pepper, and in she goes. Next, the mixed vegetables. Now this is going to be an accompaniment for the steak, or it can stand on its own as a nice roasted vegetable dish, nice luncheon thing, summertime deal. Okay, we got our salt and pepper, in she goes. So we have the tomatoes here. Again, like I said, we're going to really douse these babies with some olive oil. There's probably not much more than an ounce on there, maybe an ounce and a quarter. And we take our salt and pepper, and that's kosher salt, cracked pepper, and then we're going to add some more pepper. We want these to be spicy little nuggets of joy. And then we're going to take them, and in the oven they go. So this strip steak that we're going to do here, this is going to be a unique method. It's called dirty steak. Why do we call it dirty steak? Because we dropped it. Oh, no, we did not drop it on the floor. What we're going to do with this, we're going to pull the coals right to the aperture of our oven. We're going to throw it right on the coals, sear the heck out of it, serve it cold and rare on the inside and burnt on the outside. What we have here is the gorgonzola. What we're going to do with this is we're going to roast it. This one is encased safely in this plastic because it smells like the socks from the Italian soccer team.